CPS Energy Special Board of Trustees meeting to order. Do we have a quorum?
Yes, ma'am, we have yourself, Trustee Dr. Mackey, Trustee Steen, and Trustee Gonzalez. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Ms. Russell, will you please give us our safety message, invocation, and pledge of allegiance? Or whoever it is, I'm sorry, I saw your name on the agenda.
Good afternoon. I will begin by reviewing the evacuation procedures. If you hear the fire alarm, follow the instructions announced through the PA system. If asked to evacuate, use the glass door to exit outside and verbally alert others. We'll move to the main parking lot in the front of the building or the AT&T parking lot at McCullough and Brooklyn Bridges. Our security team will be watching and will notify the appropriate emergency services. Lastly, we'll also have employees nearby who are trained to administer first aid if needed. Safety is a top priority, and while we hope this information is never needed, we want to ensure that we are prepared. Additionally, we ask that you remain seated during the duration of the meeting, keep the aisles clean, and do not block any exits. And now, would you please stand with me for the invocation? We come before you today to give your honor and praise. Thank you for every gift that we have been given. We thank you for the opportunity to come and gather together this day. We ask for your hand of blessing on this meeting of the CPS Energy Board of Trustees. We ask that you guide and direct our meeting so that it is full of wisdom, productivity, and respect for one another. Thank you for helping us to accomplish our work and goals this day. Amen. Now, please turn towards the flag, place your right hand over your heart, and say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Okay, thank you. We have no public comment for this meeting, correct?
That's correct. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Ramirez, will you take us into executive session, please?
Yes, ma'am. At this time, the board is going to recess into executive session to discuss matters that have been duly posted under several provisions of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, including deliberations and other authorization on real property under Section 551.072 and personnel matters under Section 551.074. At the conclusion of executive session, the board will reconvene in open session and continue the meeting. It is 11:39 a.m. going into executive session.
Ms. Ramirez, will you bring us back from executive session, please?
It is 12:18 PM and the board has concluded executive session. I can confirm that there were no votes taken and no matters were discussed that were not part of the posted agenda. We have a quorum and all members are present. And I do just want to state clearly for everyone that the mayor arrived at 11:44 a.m.
Okay, thank you. Item 5 has been pulled from the consent agenda, so we are going to start with that item.
Would you like me to go ahead and introduce the matter?
I'm sorry, yes, please.
This is a request for the approval of the sale and the resolution approving the sale of real estate that is related to the Higuchi project. Higuchi would be the purchaser. You all have been previously briefed on this. This is the sale of property owned by CPS Energy that currently is the subject of a lease that includes a provision that allows the Higuchi to have a right to purchase this property at the expiration of the lease. We have negotiated favorable terms for that purchase, and so we suggest and request the approval for the purchase now.
Are there any questions? Oh,
I would need to ask for a motion from someone on the board to approve the sale.
do you want a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion, questions? Roll call vote, please, on approval of the resolution.
Trustee Dr. Mackey? Yes. Trustee Steen? Mayor?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Chair?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. All right, and finally, we arrive at agenda item 7, which is nomination of candidate for the Quadrant 2 Board of Trustees position. So first of all, I wanted to review how we got here. It's been a long time. We began our search for this position officially on June 2nd, and the application period ran through August 29th. We had a record number of applicants, which was wonderful. We're really proud of that. It shows that our community is deeply interested in serving its citizens and helping CPS Energy grow into the future. We had a strong marketing campaign with pieces in English and Spanish in media outlets, social media outreach, information in our service centers, and more. Our team engaged all the chambers and city council to work collectively to bring this process to fruition, which is critical. We held 2 public information sessions where anyone interested was able to come in and engage with us, get an overview of the life of a trustee, and ask questions. These sessions were live streamed, recorded, and posted online. I want to thank Trustee Steen for his partnership on the nominations committee with me. And I can tell you, first of all, I also want to thank staff for helping us in the process. It was so professional, so seamless. It made a difficult task much easier. And I especially want to thank all the people who applied. It's not fun to have to go and fill out an application where you have to divulge all kinds of things about yourself, maybe come in for interviews. It's a lot. It's a lot to ask, and we really appreciate it. I can tell you that Mr. Steen and I read every single application in detail, and I would love to have talked to every one of you who applied for this position. But certainly time did not allow for that. We've already had 2 rounds of interviews, and I'm just so impressed with the energy that went into this, and to see how important CPS Energy is to the community. It meant a lot. So now we are at the point where the floor will be open for nominations, and I will just emphasize again that what we are voting on is a recommendation of a nominee that will be presented to City Council, and City Council does have the final vote up or down on the nominee that we present. The floor is now open for nominations.
I'd like to, if it's okay with you, Chairwoman, I would like to nominate to push forward Dr. Erica Gonzalez.
All right, we have a nomination for Dr. Erica Gonzalez. Floor is open for any additional nominations. Trustee Gonzalez, would you like to make a statement in support of your nomination, please?
Again, I'm nominating Dr. Erica Gonzalez for the trustee positions because of her unwavering commitment to public health, education, community investment, and ethical leadership. Dr. Gonzalez brings a distinguished record of academic excellence, professional integrity, and civic engagement. Her experience both in education, health policy, public service uniquely positions her to contribute thoughtful governance, data-informed decision-making, and a deep understanding of the challenges and opportunities facing our city, our county, and institution, CPS Energy. She is dedicated to exclusivity, accountability, and ensuring that all voices are represented in shaping the future of CPS Energy.
Thank you. Before we go to roll call vote, we will see if any trustees would have any statements to make.
I do, all right. So to begin, I want to thank Dr. Romero for selecting me to serve on her nominations committee. And for those listening today, I want to remind you that there are only 5 of us who serve on CPS Energy's Board of Trustees, including the mayor ex officio. Committees then are limited to 2 members. I think that Dr. Romero did a fine and thorough job overseeing the process culminating at today's vote. And the nominations committee was staffed by an outstanding team and in alphabetical order: Kathy Garcia, Ashley Glotzer, Heather Gomez, Matthew Jones, Davy Kumar Nambiar, Shanna Ramirez, and Brandy Russell. Did I leave out anybody? And thanks to all of you all for a great job. One of the first tasks that Dr. Romero and I undertook was to review and update our 2-page nominations committee charter. In doing so, this sentence in Article 1 caught my attention. I quote, "In support of this responsibility, the nominations committee will be charged with coordinating among board members to identify specific capabilities and expertise desired in board candidates, keeping in mind the qualifications and expertise of current board members so as to enhance the strength of the board as a whole," close quote. Dr. Romero and I approached our task with this charge in mind, and I thought we'd reach a consensus that what we needed on the board was a Quadrant 2 trustee with heavy-duty business experience and acumen. Directors with strong business acumen provide the necessary expertise for strategic decision-making and efficacious management to ensure long-term financial success and accountability. They're adept problem solvers and strategic thinkers, providing the necessary guidance to steer a large corporation towards endurable success and effectively manage growth in complex business in a complex business landscape. So this is what we were looking for as we culled through the applications, resumes, recommendation letters, et cetera, of close to 60 individuals. I want to remind our listeners that when the city of San Antonio acquired its electric and gas utilities in 1942 from a private company, it was the expectation from the start that the utility would be managed and directed as a business rather than as a political entity. Take, for example, this sentence, which appears in the foundational documents and has been included in all our bond documents since. Quote, "The Board of Trustees may follow and adopt such rules for the orderly handling of its affairs as it may seem fit, and may manage and conduct the affairs of the systems with the same freedom and in the same manner ordinarily employed by the Board of Directors of private corporations operating properties of a similar nature," close quote. The operation of CPS Energy, with emphasis on business principles over the course of its history, has indeed paid rich dividends to the city, dividends which have benefited customers abundantly. CPS Energy's initial assets were acquired in 1942 from an investor-owned utility for $34 million. In the 83 years since, CPS Energy has paid or distributed to the city roughly $9.6 billion. Now, for many years, it was predominantly businessmen and later businesswomen who sat on the CPS Energy board. However, in time, that began to change, which was fine, except some top-notch business and financial expertise was considered indispensable for the board. The last all-star business person to serve on the board was the legendary Ed Kelly. When his term was up, he and I, as the two members of the nominations committee, brought to the board as his replacement a stellar, highly qualified former corporate executive, CPA, and CFO, but that individual was rejected in a 3-2 vote by the mayor, led by the mayor on behalf of his preferred candidate. So that left only me, in effect, to fill the businessman or businessman person slot, which I've strived to do, utilizing my corporate law expertise and private board experience, as well as what I learned from Mr. Kelly during our years on the board together. Humbly, I like to think my business acumen was honed as a result of his mentoring, and in any case, I've done my best. So that brings us to today. First, in regard to the nominee, Dr. Erica Gonzalez, I want to begin by complimenting her. Her resume is, as Ms. Gonzalez said, is impressive. Her educational accomplishments, her honorable medical service in the Air Force, her praiseworthy accomplishments as a physician who has developed a thriving medical practice, and her prodigious output as an asthma and allergy researcher reflect a life of high purpose and incredible success. So I start by saluting Dr. Gonzalez. However, she was among 4 finalists whom we interviewed. In that group, she was eclipsed by the 3 other candidates in terms of extensive, high-level business experience and business acumen. The easiest path for me today would be to go along with the other trustees and vote for Dr. Gonzalez. But because I'm deeply concerned about the financial health of CPS Energy, I feel compelled to take a stand today. So to quickly tick off 5 of my major concerns. First, CPS Energy's total indebtedness has exploded to over $10 billion. It was around $6 billion just a few years ago. That means it's ballooned by 67% in that period of time. Second, CPS Energy's annual debt service has swelled to north of $500 million. Third, our debt capitalization rate, CPS Energy's leverage metric, exceeds 65%, and management is planning to take it to 70% in the years ahead. I've been on this board for 10 years, and until the last 4 years, there was absolute consensus among management and trustees that this ratio should not exceed 60%. Fourth, baked into CPS Energy's financial projections and models are 5.5% base rate increases every 2 years going forward, and I understand that one of these rate increases is planned for early next year. Finally, fifth, 20% of our residential customers are past due on their CPS Energy bills, and this has been the case for many years. And remember, this is in a city that ranks 3rd highest in poverty among major U.S. metropolitan areas. To sum up, I can in good conscience support Dr. Erica Gonzalez, as impressive as her medical credentials might be, over the sterling business credentials of the 3 other candidates who were shortlisted for the position. So with all due respect to Dr. Gonzalez, I intend to vote no on the motion before us. And finally, I respectfully ask our General Counsel, Shannon Ramirez, to include these remarks in the minutes of today's meeting. Thank you, Dr. Romero. That's all I have.
I fundamentally disagree with Trustees Steen's characterization of the qualifications of Dr. Erica Gonzalez Reyes over the other 3 that were interviewed. I can't I can't state that any more emphatically. I, in fact, am supporting Dr. Gonzalez-Reyes for her business credentials. She is the Chief Executive Officer and President of the South Texas Allergy of STAMP, a major business here in community, multiple locations throughout San Antonio, serving the most vulnerable. She is the immediate and past president, chairwoman of the San Antonio Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the first and largest Hispanic Chamber of Commerce in the entire United States of America. So her business bona fides are quite strong. She's an advisor to the Dean of Science and Engineering and Technology at St. Mary's University. So when we speak about the technical expertise needed in this field, she most certainly encompasses those. She also is the co-chair for the Small Business for America's Futures Committee. So again, her business credentials are well fortified. She also is a 2019 Presidential Leadership Scholar and served and was appointed to serve on the National Medal of Science Committee. So Dr. Gonzalez-Reyes is not only a leader in her community, I'm proud to call her my fellow Air Force veteran. She has given back to this community in a number of ways, and she has done that effectively, not only as a medical professional, as a sound business leader, and as somebody that I think fundamentally understands the inequities in our community, and I think is best able to serve on this body to ensure that we maximize the strategic advantage, which is a municipally owned utility. And for that reason, I will be voting to support her.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll just make some short final comments. I wanted to say again, especially for the last group of people who we interviewed, the last 4, they were all so well qualified that it made this process very difficult for us. It was a good trouble to have, I think, because everybody was good. I think everybody could have fit on this board and contributed to this board. I hope that everyone, especially the 4 who move forward, will continue to work with us. And there are other positions, potentially on the CIC, and so we recognize the expertise that all of those people could bring to us. I was the candidate that Mr. Steen referenced who lacked business acumen, and I don't dispute that. That's not my field. Dr. Gonzalez has a lot more experience in business than I do. I was also impressed with her. She runs a group of medical clinics, and that was very impressive to me. So as everyone has said, she is a very impressive candidate. I believe she will make great contributions on our Board of Trustees. And
Point of privilege, if you don't mind, if I can build upon that. I'm also the 30-year business person that is also not qualified. I'm actually looking forward for Mr. Steen stepping down. We need a collaborative partner. I have no issue with anybody disagreeing with me, but it's been extremely frustrating that we work really hard to make good decisions for this organization. I am proud of the decisions to invest in infrastructure. I'm very proud of the decisions to make acquisitions so that our ratepayers will not get an increase in rates. I'm very proud of the 2 business plans that we have in place. I'm really proud of investing in the employees here at CPS. We bought a building years ago instead of making investments, strategic investments into this organization. And frankly, I'm looking forward to a collaborative trustee. And again, it's never been about you having to agree with me, but it's definitely been about respect. And when a colleague continuously just, again, states that no one on this diocese is qualified because we don't look like they used to, it's just very disrespectful. I look like the community in San Antonio, and we need more people that reflect San Antonio's core values. Not everything is about 78209. We are many different zip codes in San Antonio, and I disagree. I think this organization has done some really good things, and we're moving forward. We're not perfect, but this is what democracy is about. And so I'm looking forward to working with the next trustee, and I'm also looking forward to not having to look to my right to Mr. Steen.
Trustee Gonzalez, thank you. I agree with everything you said about supporting our strategic investments. I do, and Mr. Steen will be with us for a couple more meetings. I do want to thank Mr. Steen for all his contributions. It is important to have somebody who questions things, and I think that has influenced us on the board to be able to push back, and it's important for us to push back. So I do want to say that, Mr. Steen, thank you for what you've brought to the board as well. And now we will have a roll call vote.
Trustee Dr. Mackey? And I'm sorry, I will go around. There has been a single nominee. It was for Dr. Erica Gonzalez Reyes to be the next trustee for Quadrant 2. So I will ask you.
No.
Trustee? Okay.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So I will ask you if you support the single nominee for appointment to Quadrant 2 trustee. Trustee Dr. Mackey?
Dr. Gonzalez.
Trustee Steen?
No.
Mayor?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Chair?
Yes.
I took all of the yeses as support for Dr. Gonzalez. The motion to appoint Dr. Gonzalez as the trustee for Quadrant 2 carries.
Thank you. Before we have a motion to adjourn, we will be back here in 20 minutes for our risk management meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, and I second that. All in favor of the motion to adjourn, please say aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.